Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here with a review of S.H.Figuarts Tyranno Ranger from Kyoryu Sentai Zyuranger, also known to many as the Red Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. So anyway, before we get started, this is obviously the Japanese release, which is Tyranno Ranger. They are getting an American release in an MMPR packaging, and just to clear it up, they're the same figure. Other than the fact that this release comes with powerful Ranger parts, this figure is the exact same. I only say that because I see a lot of stupidity about this where people think like, oh my god, what's the difference? I'm like, well, you're an idiot. So it's the same figure, you just get different accessories. I've seen people panic and buy both because they think there's differences in the figure itself. No. So yeah, I just want to clear that up. So anyway, let's go ahead and start. We'll take a look at the packaging. So for this one, it's not an MMPR packaging. It's just primarily red. You got a picture of a Tyranno Ranger here. It obviously says Tyranno Ranger many times, so you don't forget where you bought it from. It says Kyoryu Sentai Zyuranger at the top. You get sort of an image here of him posing. Picture of his helmet and chest here. And then on the back, it just shows, you know, poses he can do, and then it comes with the powerful Ranger parts. So, you know, pretty much in line with Dragon Ranger's packaging. It's all fine and whatnot. Accessories wise, you get a variety of hands, basically a bunch of different holding weapons hands and a couple little posed hands. And then obviously right here is the powerful Ranger parts, which is a buckle with like the American flag design around it. But the buckle here remains the same. You can see the little coin in there, which is pretty well done. And then you get his neck piece here, which is just a standard neck piece with like American flag part around it. Then you get a bunch of his weapons. Obviously on him he's got the power sword, which his name in Zyuranger is like Ryu-Geki or something. It's the power sword. And then you get his, you know, traditional sidearm. I have it in its closed up mode in his belt right now. The dagger blaster in MMPR, it is the Ranger stick in Zyuranger. So here you get it in its blaster mode. Very nicely detailed. And like I said, they have its closed up mode, which I have in its holster. Then you have it in its blade mode here. And then also you get the Thunder Slingers right here, you get it individually. Once again, very nicely painted. And then I think it's like the Ranger Slinger. When you combine them both, you get the combined mode, which is neat. So that's all cool. And then obviously I'll go ahead and take it out of his hand. Let go. It'll be fine. His weapon here, which is, it's really cool looking. I've always have liked the design of it, and they did a really great job on it. You can see the little coin there. All the details are very well done on this, even like the designs up on the blade. It looks very cool. So yeah, pretty well done here. Alright, the figure itself is really nice. They do a really good job on these. I think the helmet is very well done. I think they got the proportions on it pretty much just right. As I always mention in these reviews, they do a good job of getting the glossiness of the Sentai helmets, both in the helmet and in the visor. And yeah, like I said, the proportions are very well done. All the details are nice and tight. Obviously, the MMPR Zyuranger suits are very simple, so there's not really a whole lot to them, which kind of makes them nice. The red looks good. There is a slight discrepancy, at least from my eye, between the shoulder and the arm red, but that could just be me, and it's actually not as noticeable as like Shinken reds. But other than that, it all looks fine. The white looks good, the red looks good. Like I said, there's not too much to go over. It all primarily looks the same. Here's his dino buckler. You can see the power coin there. Very well done. Obviously, here's his holster, which is actually removable. Well, I guess I'll just show how it's removable. To put the sidearm in, which is really stuck in there, but look, you can just believe me about it. It looks the same as the others, it's just more sidearm-ish. There we go. It sticks in there really nicely. It's just this closed out mode for when you place it in here, and it, like you just saw, it sticks in there very well. And just places here on the side. Obviously there's not really any detail to his legs, are just red, and you got the diamond design. But yeah, very nice looking figure. Articulation wise, very nicely done as usual. A 360 ball joint articulation here. Swiveling, double elbow joint here. Swiveling at his fists. 360 ball joint on his leg that I just yanked off. It's really not that loose, I just yanked it funny. Ball joint on his leg. Double knee joint here. Swiveling. You got swiveling at his foot. And then the toe action joint, like I call it. And then obviously you can see you have articulation at the waist and chest. Obviously you do get a little bit of that sort of breakage of his design. When you twist him in a certain way, it'll break the diamond design. But that's not that huge of a deal. And then obviously the head and neck articulation gives you a huge wide range of movements and creepy exorcist stuff. So very, very cool. And like I said in Dragon Ranger, it was harder to tell because he had his armor on. But they have used a really, really nice mold for this one. I really do like the shoulder mode. I mean, obviously, it's going to be hard with Sentai Figuarts to not tell that they have articulation. But I much prefer this shoulder style. I believe this is the Jetman one, if I'm correct, or at least close to it. But these shoulders here, like this shoulder sort of padding, it tracks the movements of the arm a lot better, and it's a lot easier to like fold down over it so you don't get that much of a gap. As compared to like the Shinkenger Deca Ranger joints, which I really don't like. So I think they did a good job in picking that mold. Very, very nicely done. And there's no real loose joint problems that I have with this guy. He's all very nicely put together. Very solid figure, very good looking. Obviously for the powerful Ranger parts, just bear with me a second, I'll change them out, and I'll just leave them like that for the final verdict. Take his head off, and then you're going to want to take his neck off, and then just replace it here with the powerful Ranger one. And then put his head back on. Make sure it's lined up right. Come on. He's looking really funny right now. Like, look how long his neck looks when the joint's not in all the way. Now it's like super down. So there you go. Good enough. Good enough! Alright, now then it's a little more difficult for the belt because you have to pull him apart, which is just really annoying. Which is why I'll probably not do this very often. There we go. His legs wanted to come off when I was doing that. Okay, so then you basically just obviously take the belt off, and then the holster just came off on its own, which was nice. And just place this around and put him back on his ball joint. This one's a lot tighter than the Dragon Ranger figure. I have noticed that. And obviously you are noticing it now. So now he's all like, Merca! So he's ready to be super patriotic and, you know, stop those Super Sentai copiers that run around. Where it is, there's this holster. So yeah, very, very cool that you get that. Like I said in Dragon Ranger's review, I think that was a really neat inclusion for the Japanese release. Especially like how funny it is that everyone's like, oh my god, these are getting an American release because it's clearly impossible to get these figures. I just think it's funny that it's like one of the first sort of when we're getting like a lot of Figuarts released to America, and then they get like their MMPR packaging and stuff. I think it's funny that the Japanese ones come with like the powerful Ranger parts, which was like some Power Ranger parody going on in Akiba Ranger. So anyway, regardless of my feelings towards both shows that this involves, as I said in my Dragon Ranger review, I always have really loved the suit designs, and they really did a good job on these figures, I have to say. All the articulation is very solid, no loose joint or quality problems. I love the shoulder mold that they chose. The details on the helmets look good. The accessories are very well done. The sword looks awesome. The Powerful Ranger parts are neat. Just very, very well done. One complaint I do have, which I forgot to mention in my Dragon Ranger review, is I actually wish they had a bit more hands. Dragon Ranger, I noticed kind of actually after I filmed the review when I was messing around with it more, that he mainly only has hands for this stupid flute, and I really didn't want to pose him with that because everyone else is doing it, so I wish he had come with a little more variety. Same goes for him. He pretty much just has hands to hold his weapons, and then just the one posed hands that are like this. And you know, usually with figures you get like the same variety of various like relaxed hands that are like this or like this, and it would be nice just to get a few extra hands with both figures just to give you a little wider variety of posing options. But that's really a minor complaint because it's still a very well done figure. So yeah, if you're a fan of MMPR or Jason or Rocky, or if you're a fan of Zyuranger, or if you just like the suit design, I definitely recommend these figures, or especially him. I don't know why Dragon Ranger got his way into this, but I definitely recommend this figure. They always do a pretty solid job on the Sentai Figuarts, but the Zyuranger ones have been one of the higher quality ones, and just very, very well done. Definitely recommended. But so anyway, that is about it. Until next time, make sure you check out the crazy podcast at WritersRangersRambles.com. Until next time, it's Dawson Rider, signing out.